Testing. All right. I am a small part of the world. I have a small hand which to hold. But I stand on your side, and you put your hand in mine. Together we can be so strong and bold.
I am a small in my eyes. But if I tell you my dreams, and if you add yours to mine, together we can reach out to the sky.
Remember my name?
Let's work on, do you guys want to work on I'll be there? Do you want to work on the words?
Yeah.
Will that be helpful?
Wait.
5 years ago, we launched Voices Together because there was a great need for individuals with autism and with intellectual challenges to develop communication and social integration skills so that they would be more included, they would feel more included, they would be able to share who they are with the community.
Sing a song.
Yes, keep body moving.
Sing a song.
Good, two more, and.
Sing a song.
When Jill Bullock, who is the choral director at Riverside, approached me and wanted to use her advanced girls choir to be a part of our programming, it made so much sense because what we're doing in our regular programming is all about building community. So there are different reasons why you can't communicate. Either you don't know what to say, either you can't put your words, like you know what you want to say, but like when you're really nervous, if you can't put your words together, or your body is not letting you, so your mouth or some part of your central nervous system is not letting you communicate. What's the average amount of time that we expect to have a response back from another person? Like the average amount of time that we will wait.
It's pretty immediate.
It's 4 seconds. So that's the average amount of time where after 4 seconds we're going to be thinking, what's wrong? Why are they talking? Why aren't they talking? So a person with any kind of language delay, guess the average amount of time, again average, that it takes them to say what they're thinking. 30 seconds. So it's a big difference. And 30 seconds it's not that long, but it can feel like a really long time if we're used to having that immediate response.
And so I thought this would be a great opportunity for my students to see them and understand that it's okay to interact the same way you would with anybody else.
Also got Drew, who's over here helping me conduct as well. Okay? Do that again. Okay, move your feet.
That I was so uncomfortable because I had never been exposed to any disability, special ed, whatever, people, and if you don't know them at all, like if you don't have a grandma with CP or if you don't like see them in school, they're scary, not because they're scary, but because you don't want to do something wrong. Mm-hmm. Because people say,
it's like a baby.
Oh, they're like, oh, but they're the special ed kids.
And back up, Ed.
Okay, we're giving out copies, okay? But you should...
You know, they went in the first day and they're standing next to these new folks and they're meeting for the first time, and the next time that I met with them, I asked, so who are you standing next to? And most people in the group were like, I don't know. So that was where we had to start. We had to start with, so you want to get to know these folks. You've got things to share. They've got things to share. but that connection's not happening. So we're putting you in a room where you're standing next to them, which is what a lot of inclusion programs do. But now we're going to actually focus on the tools to help that relationship start.
I need help.
Or I need help.
I need.
So, and what might they do to help you?
They tell me the words.
Tell me the words.
And I follow you.
Yeah, and I'll follow you. Or what if they have the paper in front of them? Does it help you to have someone's finger?
Yeah.
So how can you ask for that?
Okay, can you go with your finger, please? And you can do it with your finger.
Can you show me the words with your finger?
I know what I know.
I'm gonna block the camera.
Yeah, apparently everyone forgot, so it's okay.
Let me just block the camera. Get away.
Probably after 2 or 3 weeks, there was a shift, and it was after they had gotten to practice asking the person, you know, what their name was, what they enjoyed to do outside of school, just those normal, typical conversation starters that the rest of us can sometimes take for granted. What that did was it increased the level of success in that my students were feeling every time they left, which then just started to cement that glue even more and made them want to reach out even more, because they weren't feeling like the atypical students anymore. They were feeling like, we're just coming in. If we need help, we'll ask. If they need help, they'll ask. The first time that we did this, we had a bunch of our students who were standing up, and it took Miss Bullock's students a little while to catch on.
Can you just play it once for us so we know, because we're not sure? So,
1, 2. You still help Leroy model, and I'll just play the melody. 1. And they needed the melody played, and they needed some help to learn it, and our students were able to provide that help. And so that's huge, because all of a sudden it's not just, well, they're coming in and if they need help, they ask. All of a sudden they're getting to see how it feels to have other students ask them for help in something. They're the authority. And that was huge.
Voices Together has seriously changed my perspective on like everything about special needs or special ed or disabilities or anything like that. I mean, when I first met, what's the director's name? Drew, yeah. Drew. He can't like communicate with you, and that's just kind of like a barrier for me. Like, I'm a talker, so I mean, when I first met Drew, I could never ever see me communicating with him. And Voices Together has brought into my life that you can communicate with whoever you need to communicate with, and just because that somebody is different than you doesn't mean that you can't be their friend, and just because they have disabilities doesn't mean that rules their life, and so your problems shouldn't rule your life. You know what I'm saying?
How do you guys think Drew's doing when he's up there conducting?
I think he did a good job.
You do?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Everyone's following him pretty easily?
Yeah, everybody followed him.
Okay. Okay.
very nice, very good. All right, so Voices Together stuff. We brought some friends.
Hi! Congratulations! You all are the winner of this year's Triangle Youth Chorus Trophy.
When we won the Triangle Youth Chorus Trophy Award, it was one of those moments where it was affirmation for me that we were doing something that mattered. And everyone in the room could feel that vibe, and I was so glad that Mr. Huffman's students were with us to share it. And in a way I feel like it's their trophy too, because they were part of the reason why we were awarded this trophy. And for them to be here on that day, which was not planned, was just amazing. To watch my students and Mr. Huffman's students do those hand signals and sing that solfege scale together was just awesome, because I have students in my other classes that after 6 months in chorus still struggle with it, and the only reason is because they don't care about it enough. But every student in this inclusion chorus cares about it enough that it's easy for them. And I just love, it's like the magic happens.
With an unselfish love that respects you, just call my name and I'll be there. Go back to the I'll be there. I'll be there. Just call my name. I'll be there.
We're gonna hold it for a long time because we can't.
I'll be there. I'll reach out my hand to you.
I think that I'm gonna take away just a friend. I just became friends with Alex P. I mean, we could just talk about anything. In the beginning, she just answered yes or no questions, but when you keep talking to somebody, you have to ask, you know, how was your day? Something that you can't answer with a yes or no. And now that I know things about her, and she knows things about me, I just feel like that's a great friendship.
When I met Alex P., she had a really hard time getting her thoughts out. The Alex that I know now has come through this process where she has gotten to take slow steps in our programming. Alex, once that starts happening, the process takes over and it works 100% of the time. So that was her goal. We gave her the opportunity and the space to allow that goal to move forward, and the rest is natural. You got it. You're on stage, girl. Go ahead, say it.
I not sad anymore.
I really actually was really shy with Leroy because he would go up to all the girls, you know what I mean? And he'd be like, hey, how you doing? You look so pretty today. And then he said it to me and I'm like, okay, I'm just another girl to you. But it's just like every other guy. But then he like, you know, when we were sharing music and stuff, he was like, you know, will you help me with this? And I was like, yeah, totally. And all I had to do was point to the words and he knew the notes. He did the solo by himself. And you know, when he tripped up and stuff like on the stage, when he was messing up the words a little bit or the notes, I came in with him and it made me feel like he gave me the confidence I needed to be able to do my senior year like I wanted it to, like do it with complete confidence, not worry about what other people think. Then he started talking to me. He was like, you know, why don't you ever try out for anything? And I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, you have such a pretty voice. And I'm like, really? Because nobody ever tells me that. And he's like, you're beautiful inside and out. And I'm like, well, thanks. I know you tell every girl they're beautiful. I don't think you say inside and out though. Yeah. So it's like when you create a relationship and a bond like that, it's just you get things more in return than you expected.
That was one of the coolest things is after the concert when we came back here into the classroom, and we had snacks or refreshments together, and we put on music and we danced together, and you know, we just had a good time and just talked to each other, and it was an awesome experience.
If I think about why this was successful to me, I think I got to see them take these things that they learned and were able to hone in our therapy space, and then independently they took them outside the therapy space. So it's no longer something they're working on. All of a sudden it's a part of who they are. And it's an expansion of who they were. And it's them taking responsibility for making that happen.
I feel happy, excited, and I can jump in the air and say yes. I feel like, hey, I can be me.
That's good one, Taylor.
Thank God, I can be me.
That's good one, Taylor.
So,
every time two communities like this come together and have this kind of experience that's genuine, that is deep, that's joyful and positive, that they take that into the world with them and they share it with their friends.
Yes, I'm sorry about singing my part. I think I did pretty good. I sing it in the shower every single night, so I won't forget. My mom be like, stop that singing. I'd be like, Mom, I got to sing my part. I started practicing singing when I was little. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to sing. And I got my chance now. I got my dream way ahead of me. Right in front of my face. I am a small part of the world. I have a small hand which to hold. But if I stand by your side and you put your hand